Welcome back to another episode of Reading the Cards Explains the Cards. I'm going to be playing Kykar today, so let's go ahead and draw, check out the hand, see if it's any good. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty okay. We got a Sapphire, we got a couple lands, we can play the Commander on turn 3. So it looks like we're just waiting on a fourth player, so I guess right now we can kind of talk about the others, but yeah, so we've got a Duretti on the top left on Mujik, and then Dad Dragon, or the Dragon 1340 is playing Joda. And right now we're just kind of debating if we should wait, but luckily we had Kykar join us with a Narset, which everyone loves. Narset obviously is the easiest deck to go against. It's never really a painful thing to be on the receiving end. She only has first strike, hexproof, and when she attacks, exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may cast them without paying their mana cost in the turn. It's not that bad. Duretti is not that bad. It's 20 ETBs. You can tap or untap permanent, and you can pay his colors in 1 to put him onto the battlefield of command zone. And then Joda is just pay Wooburg to cast any spell instead of its regular cost. So we're going to start the game. I'm going to go first. I'm going to play my Steam land tapped. And then Mr. Flex over here is going to flex on everybody with a couple of awesome little cards, but you know, plays that tap land, so it's not even that impressive. And then Mooj is going to play his fetch land. He's going to fetch right away because, you know, that's just the pro way to do it. You got to make sure you fetch right away. He's going to get that tropical island. So back to us. Ooh, a mystical tutor. Well, let's go ahead and play our Sapphire and pass it on to the others. Alright, so the Dragon's going to play an Arid Mesa, and on cue he's going to fetch it, just like he's supposed to, just like everyone's taught when they're playing the game for the first time, and he's going to go get a Volcanic Island. So back to Flex, man. Let's see. Oh, he loses his Crypt Trigger, and he's going to lose 3 life, which is a pretty big win for everyone here. And so he's going to play a fetch land and a Mox Diamond. He's going to exile land so that Diamond can be tapping for anything, and on cue he's going to be sacrificing his Arid Mesa so he can get himself a land. You remember here, we're playing with pros. We have to make sure that we sack our fetches right away. And he goes to get a Tundra. So now he's going to tap out, and he's going to try to play his Commander this turn. And I didn't like that, so I decided to ask around if people had any responses, because technically Mujik goes before me, so I have to see if he has anything, but since not, I'm going to go ahead and force a negation that. But Mr. Narset / Flexboy over there didn't like that I had to pass priority before it got to me, and he decided to just scoop up the game. Yeah, I don't really know what that was all about. Yeah, there he goes. Alright, Mujik decides to play whatever the heck that card is, or at least bring it to his hand. So he's going to play a fetch land, he's going to crack it naturally, just because he needs to. It's the pro move to do, you know. We've already established that throughout this game, throughout the past like 5 fetches that's gone on. And he's going to get himself a scrub land, and he's going to tap all that out and play the card that he just got, which was a Bloom Tender. That's a pretty good card in the Duretti deck. Alright, back to us. Oh, that's a good card. So we're going to go ahead and play. Well, I think we're going to play the Hammer because it's just the best move. No, I'm just kidding. I psyched you out. I'm playing my Commander. The frick. So we're going to go ahead and tap out and play the Commander. And with nothing else, we're just going to pass the turn. Now, Mujik's going to go ahead and play another fetch and crack that right away. I've never seen this many fetch lands in my entire life. This is a crazy game. It's pretty out of control. Tap out for a Heuristic Study. But Dragon didn't really like that, so he's going to go ahead and counter that thing. They negate, and I think Mujik just cried a little inside. We all feel that. I'm not really sure why he tapped out his creature, but you know, it just happens like that. So back to us. Well, we'll keep that force in our hand, and let's go ahead and cast the Hammer, because at least we can get a spirit from that, right? Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and grab a spirit. You're gonna love these tokens. They're pretty cute. Yeah, look at that bad boy. He's really cute. Alright, well, let's go ahead and swing in, because there's no blockers on any side of the field. Let's go get a good love to each one of them. So back to Dragon. He's gonna play himself a Plateau, I think. And he's going to go ahead and cast Joda. That's a good sign, because, you know, things are about to get crazy now. So back to Mujik. He's going to go ahead and tap out, or at least figure out how to tap and cast his Commander. He's not really sure. He's debating on which colors and how many colors he needs to make in order to cast him, but ultimately determines that it's just 3 mana, and so he goes ahead and casts him and passes over to us. So now it's our turn. Let's go ahead and alright, so Mujik accidentally passed it to me. We're just discussing that in the comments right there, so I'm going to go ahead and let him finish his turn and resolve all the Derevi triggers. So he's gonna trigger and target his own little Bloom Tender, and he's gonna, in response, tap it to float 3 mana, cast himself an Oot and a Null Rod, and I didn't like that, so I'm gonna go ahead and force a negation that, just because I needed my Kykar to activate his abilities since it requires a cost. And he decides, yeah, I guess that's okay, and I'm like, yeah, it better be okay. So here we go. We get ourselves a beautiful little Spirit on triggers, or on cast, so now it's finally our turn. We draw a card that we don't really want because we don't have enough blue mana for it, and without anything being able to play it, I pass it over to Joda. And so he plays a Demonic Tutor, but in response an Aven Mind Sensor come in, but I don't really want to have that screw me over, so I play Mystic Tutor to get myself a Frantic Search, because I don't really know why. I kind of guess I need to draw cards. I don't really know. I don't really know what's going through my head while I'm playing these games, but I just kind of do the thing. So he's just going to end his turn and pass it over with the land. We're going to see a Caustic Caterpillar come onto the battlefield, and we're going to see an Oakham Adversary. I've never actually seen that card before, so as he passes to me, I'm just going to Chaos Warp his Aven Mind Sensor, which will give him a Pilgrim instead. So now it's our turn. Let's go ahead and cast the Frantic Search. So we're going to go ahead and float a white mana because it costs 1 less. We're going to discard these two, regretting that I discard the Source of Plowshares, and you'll see later on. So I'm going to go ahead and play an Arid Mesa and pull a Pro Gamer move and not crack it yet. I'm just going to wait, so I'm going to go ahead and swing in, and now I'm going to crack it because, you know, suspense. And oh my gosh, that's an Elish Norn. Well, I guess that kind of wipes out both of our fields pretty much. Goodbye, guys. So in response, he's going to sack the Caterpillar and destroy my Sapphire, which is a big brain move, but a little big sad move for me. But that's okay. We just have to live with it, and things like that just kind of happen all the time. So now that we're wiping the board, finally going to start fresh, but not really, because Joda's way ahead of us now, since both of us rely on small creatures, and we both know this, and we're both just crying inside. So he's going to go ahead and Salt the Wound by attacking Mujik, and he's going to pass it over to Mujik, and Mujik's going to go ahead and pass it over to me because he's got nothing else to do. And so I'm going to untap and draw and get a Preordain, with not really that helpful. Even though I make a Spirit, it's just gonna die. And so we see these two cards, and I don't really like them, so I put them on the bottom, and then I draw a land. Now that was a pretty big brain move in my opinion, and so without anything else to do, I'm just gonna pass it on over to Joda over there, which, oh gosh, he plays a Sunbird's Invocation. That's a card that everyone likes to see played in Joda deck. So that card is just whenever you cast a card from your hand, you reveal the top X cards, where X is its CMC, then you may play the card, one card from there for free, if its CMC is equal to or less than it. So Joda swings at me, and Elish Norn swings over at Mujik, but he blocks with his Derevi, and on his end step, he brings it back with his ability. And then he decides to tap Elish Norn. And so now we're back to him, and he passes over because he's got nothing to do. And I'm going to play a Saheeli, even though nothing to do with the board right now. She's kind of useless. But, you know, it's a card. I might as well cast it, give some intimidation points. So we're going to see that he's going to play a Vornaclex with pretty gross cards. So we're going to get that Invocation again. Off that Invocation, let's see. Yeah, he's going to get a Unsuspected Results. He's going to cast that, and the Unsuspected Results is going to flip into a, he goes Zendikar Resurgence. All that amazing plays going on. So Mujik just plays a land and passes over to us, and we draw, wow, an Isochron Receptor. Well, I'm glad that we drew that. If only we could use it, but that's too bad. So I'm just going to pass it over because I really have nothing to do. But right now, I think we're just arguing over whether we should just scoop the game, and I think that we might just do that, and yeah, I think that seals the deal, having a Kozilek enter the battlefield on the Joda side. He plays a Narset because of the Invocation, and that kind of seals the deal. Yeah, it's GG. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. We're going to go ahead and end things here. Stay tuned and have fun.